Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Blepnir. I'm a member of the Pallet community, and today I wanted to go over my battles using a really fun Halloween Great League Cup team using double Fire Fang users in the back. So I've got a Incineroar in the back, and I've got a Mawile as a safe swap, both of which have Fire Fang. As you can see here, I actually included the process of catching my Litten that would become my Incineroar here in the video to the left. And the reason why is because I actually did not have a Great League Incineroar when I realized that I wanted to use this team on stream. So I just went onto my map, and wouldn't you know it, but my daily spawn was a Litten. And the Litten happened to become a pretty good Incineroar. You see that's an Incineroar that gets to 1497 CP. And so I only include this part just to show you guys that you can really use any Pokemon that you happen across. You know, I just had this sort of knee-jerk reaction. I want to use Incineroar. I have an Incineroar, a viable Incineroar right here in my spawn point. I'm going to use it. And it was very cheap to level up. You see here, it only costs like 20k or so to level up. And I was able to use it. This team puts on a lot of fast move pressure with the Dragalge in the front and the Dragon Tails, the constant Fire Fang damage, the self-buffing moves of Power Up Punch on the Mawile, and Flame Charge on the Incineroar. So oftentimes you'll actually manage to get shields down with the Dragalge, which is really good. The Dragalge has Outrage, which hits almost everything in the meta for a lot of damage. There are a few fairy types in the meta, but they've been, for the most part, scared off by all the poison types in the meta, and they're the only ones that can really resist the Dragalge's moves. So, and then obviously I saw a lot of steel bug types in the back, and steel bug types are double weak to fire type moves. In fact, I saw a lot of double steel bug type backlines, and let me tell you, those lines are basically as good as dead versus my team. I just go through them so quickly with those Fire Fangs. Before I actually start commenting on these battles, I wanted to let you guys know that Pallet PvP is a great place to test your chops on PvP. If you're a beginner, if you're an expert, if you're anything in between, I highly recommend it. We've got links to our Discord, our Patreon, all of our services down below. So with that in mind, let's go over our battles. So we've got Dragalge into Scizor. This is not a great lead. I'm going to immediately go into the Mawile, and look how much damage I'm doing with the Mawile. They bring in a Azumarill, and so far this is looking like a hard counter. This was my very first battle using this team, and I was a little bit scared here. You know, I had a pretty hard counter in the lead. I had a very hard counter on the swap, but you're going to see that actually I'm going to force a shield from this Azumarill, because the Azumarill is taking neutral damage from these Iron Heads, right? It's only throwing resisted charge moves. So I am going to force a shield here, and suddenly this Azumarill is very low health. And we're going to have to see what they have in the back. Hopefully they don't have two responses to fire types. I did not see any opponents with two responses to fire types in the back. Usually they would only have an Azumarill or a Dragon, one thing that's strong against fire types, and then oftentimes they'd have a Dark type in the back. And a lot of Dark types don't have a great matchup versus Incineroar. So the Azumarill's low. I do shield up that first Ice Beam, and I'm just going to keep farming up here. Farming up. They are going to reach another Ice Beam soon. So I throw right when they get to their Ice Beam, or it looks like I was one bubble short here. But I throw an Aqua Tail, and then they have to throw their move because I have another Aqua Tail. I could have thrown an Outrage and do a little more damage, but as you're going to see here, this is more than enough to Fire Fang them down. In fact, they're forced to switch out. So they switch out into their their Umbreon, excuse me. And so this is what I saw a lot, is that people would not have a great response to a Fire Dark type in the back. Oftentimes they would have a Ghost. This time around they have Umbreon. And let me tell you folks, every single Umbreon that I ran into was running a move set of a dark move, either Foul Play or Dark Pulse, and then their secondary move would be Psychic. And now Psychic is actually double resisted by Incineroar's Dark typing. So the Umbreon, sure enough, is forced to go for the not very effective Foul Plays here. I do have to shield here, but I am going to be able to buff myself with a Flame Charge, or I can actually just farm this Umbreon down. I was counting their moves. I can farm them down. I can actually... Okay, look how much damage these Fire Fangs are doing. Wowie. That is a lot of damage. These singly buffed Fire Fangs, and then obviously the Bullet Punches do not very effective damage versus me. So even though I'm very low health, I'm able to absolutely decimate this Sizer coming in. The Sizer is at about 75% health. I'm at about 10% health, and then I'm left with about 3% health, and they go down. So we have Dragalge into Azumarill, another very poor matchup. I'm going to switch immediately into the Mawile, because as we've seen before, Mawile is able to force a shield from Azumarill as long as the Azumarill is not carrying Hydro Pump. And we have seen Azumarills with Hydro Pump before. We have to see if this one is carrying Hydro Pump. They tie with me, and so this could actually be enough for the Hydro Pump. This is kind of scary, but I'm not going to shield, because my play is, calling the play rough, and then hoping to get to this next Iron Head. Let's see if they allow me to throw this next Iron Head. They do allow me to throw it. That's good. So they actually used a shield first. So they knew that they would have to use a shield eventually. They decided to use it sooner rather than later. But once again, this Azumarill is very, very low on health. And so I'm thinking maybe they have two bug steel types in the back. And as we've seen before, the Incineroar can absolutely sweep those bug steel types. Even if it is an Escavalier, an Escavalier can only do about like 40% of the Incineroar's health before it goes down to the double super effective Fire Fangs, even though the Escavalier is doing non-stab counters that is no match. Oh, look at that. All right, that's what we want to see, folks. It's the Sizer. Hi, Sizer. Bye, Sizer. They're not able to make it to a move. And we already know what's in the back. It's another bug fighting, bug steel type. Sure enough, it's a Wormadam. So I make kind of a misplay here. What I came to learn later is that you can actually just Fire Fang the Wormadam all the way down. So I could have actually just not thrown a charge move there, but because of the bonus damage from the Flame Charge buffing my attack, I'm actually able to take them out before they get to a Bug Buzz anyway. A Bug Buzz would do neutral damage to me, and Iron Head would do not very effective damage. They don't get to the Bug Buzz. They go down. Now, here we have a matchup that I saw an awful lot. It's Drapion versus Dragalge. This is a pretty good matchup for the Dragalge just because it absolutely chunks so much with this the Dragon Tail and the Aqua Tail. I'm able to come in with the Mawile. I almost finish them off, but any move they throw here is not going to be very, very threatening to the Mawile. They throw a Crunch. It's resisted. Doesn't do too much damage. They go down. What do they have in the back to counter Mawile? They have a Nidoqueen, and Nidoqueen is not a very good matchup with Mawile. They're forced to go for the... they have to farm a little bit more because a Poison Fang actually wouldn't kill me. They have to take this Iron Head. So now they're probably going to throw their Poison Fang, right? Oh, we get some unfortunate lag here. So I'm just doing my battles in order, showing my battles. Unfortunately, in this battle, we did get some unfortunate lag. But they would have only gotten to a Poison Fang. They would not have gotten to an Earth Power. And then they have a Snarl Mandibuzz in the back. So we haven't seen too many Snarl Mandibuzzes. We have a little bit of screen glitching there. But this Snarl Mandibuzz is not going to be able to farm down the Mawile. And so I'm just going to come right in here with the Incineroar. And most likely this Mandibuzz does have Aerial Ace. We've seen Aerial Ace and Dark Pulse Mandibuzz. We've seen Aerial Ace and Foul Play. We've even seen some Aerial Ace. Oh, they gave up. Okay. So that game, they did give up in the end. That was them conceding the match there. I cut it off. But that's a good game. Let's keep going. So you have Dragalge into Toxapex. This is a great matchup, and one of the main reasons why I chose Dragalge as my Pokemon of choice for the Halloween Cup, because it has that hard counter matchup with the Toxapex. And now I'm actually going to throw this Aqua Tail on the Scizor. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I know Scissor's glassy. They do in fact shield it because they're so glassy that they know that that would put them in farm down range. So now I've got a shield, and I'm able to take them out with this Mawile. Once again, the Mawile has an excellent matchup versus the Scizor. It can take any one move from the Scizor there. Night Slash does not do enough damage to threaten it at all. And so now the Mawile is really just going to be fodder for this Toxapex. With Iron Head instead of Play Rough, it can't threaten the Toxapex at all. It does singly resist the poison jabs here, but you're going to see, I think that the Toxapex is just going to farm me down because it's resisting my Fire Fangs, non-stab Fire Fangs, and it's throwing same type ability bonus, poison jabs. It's able to take these Iron Heads, no problem. Going to farm me all the way down. They have 100 energy here, easily 100 energy. I have to decide on what to do. I think I'm going to come in with the Dragalge and try to farm them. Oh, they come right back in with another steel bug type. So once again, we saw a ton of steel bug types in the back, and that's a good game. If they have two steel bug types in the back, there's nothing that they can do, really. And so here we have our Dragalge into a Drapion. So another Drapion. This one's not Shadow. It's not going to be quite as threatening with these crunches, but conversely, the Dragon Tails aren't going to be threatening it quite as much. So I'm just going to go all the way up to the Outrage, and then I'm going to bait here. And I want to have a little bit of extra energy coming out of this matchup. So I'm going to bait. They shield. That's good because they're already quite low health. And then I come in with the Mawile, and they take a lot of time to switch, and they switch into a Mandibuzz. So this is not a great matchup for them. They must have something in the back that's very weak to Fire Fang if they're switching in Mandibuzz here, or at least that's what I'm reading, right? Like that's what I'm thinking when I'm playing out this matchup. I'm thinking that they're very weak in the back to Mawile, and if that's the case, they're most likely very weak in the back to Incineroar. So I think I'm just going to play this matchup out. I might even let my Mawile go. Let's see if I want to let it go. Oh, I go into the Dragalge. Okay, I'm saving the Mawile just in case I need it. In case something in the back is super weak to Mawile, I want to keep it. And then I come into the Dragalge. They have a Wigglytuff in the back. So this is okay for me. The Wigglytuff is going to be doing neutral damage to the Incineroar. Let's see if I'm going to be able to farm this all the way down. It's looking pretty good because they let that Aqua Tail go. I should be able to just Fire Fang this all the way down. If they had shielded up that Aqua Tail, I would actually be in a much more difficult spot here. But you're going to see, I actually do Flame Charge. And the reason why I Flame Charge, I know they're going to shield this. However, I'm just going to be ramping up my damage, doing even more damage. And then we simultaneously KO. So this is not great for me here. I have to try and sweep in the back. They're waiting out the switch timer. They come in with the Mandibuzz. I throw this Power Up Punch because I know the Power Up Punch will be enough to take them out. And then the... Ooh, okay, I do have two shields. So I should be able to Fire Fang down this Drapion. So once again, having that self-buffing move of Power Up Punch, in addition to the very high damage move of Fire Fang, absolutely deadly here in the end game. And then sure enough, I take them out. Next up, we've got Dragalge into Scizor. This is a good matchup, as we've seen before. And I come right into the Mawile. They take some time to switch out. So that's very fortunate for me because you can see how much damage those Fire Fangs do. Just any damage I can do to the Scizor comes pretty much freely for the Mawile. I just get a little extra energy. I don't take a lot of damage from those bullet punches. So they come in with the Toxapex. This is, of course, a hard answer to my Mawile that does not have Play Rough. However, the Dragalge should hopefully be able to farm it all the way down after this, get a lot of energy. They are going to farm me all the way down after throwing that brine. Farm me all the way down. They have a lot of energy. Not quite at 100 yet, but they're almost there. And now I'm going to come in with my Dragalge. Let's see if I can farm them all the way down before I die. I'm expecting this to be either a gunk shot or a sludge wave. It is a sludge wave, sure enough. I do block the sludge wave. I'm going to get a ton of energy here. I knew that would be a sludge wave. This is probably also a sludge wave. I believe they got up to it. Yes, it is another sludge wave. But I didn't have to really shield one of the sludge waves, but I wanted to have a little bit of energy left on the Dragalge. They have an Umbreon in the back. So this is a pretty good situation for me. As we've seen before, Umbreon always carries Foul Play and Psychic in the Halloween Cup. Well, not always, but in these first few matchups, I definitely only saw the Foul Play and the Psychic. Sure enough, they throw the Foul Play. They are going to be able to reach another Foul Play here. But I'm just ramping up my Fire Fang damage so much with these Flame Charges. I'm just going to be able to keep on going. We suffer from some lag here. Very unfortunate lag. I do have to decide what to do. That we actually seem to be tied to the move. I'm not sure if they were trying to farm up to double. Looks like that was what they were doing. But they let that go, and then from there it's a game over. They did not reach double foul plays, which is what they would need to win that match. Okay, so this is the first Glossopod I saw in the Halloween Cup. Very interesting Pokemon to choose. But they are not going to be able to hit me for very much damage at all. None of the Glossopod's charge moves are very threatening. I'm actually going to throw the Aqua Tail because I know that an Aqua Tail plus some Dragon Tails is enough to take him out. They know that it's an Aqua Tail. They don't shield very smartly. And so now I'm coming into Mawile, and the reason why is because I know that nothing that they can throw here is too damaging to Mawile. Ooh, sure enough, it is an X-Scissor. So I don't know if they were trying to bait there, but they throw the X-Scissor. I very stupidly throw the Power Punch into this Crustle. The Crustle would take super effective damage from the Iron Head. Throwing the Power Punch was a mistake, but they actually have X-Scissor. I mean, they have Fury Cutter, which is a really strange decision. Fury Cutter is double resisted on Mawile. In general, it's not quite as strong of a move as Smackdown. But let's see. They're not going to take me out with this X-Scissor. I knew this would just be an X-Scissor bait. I bait here for some reason. I didn't think that I quite got to the Iron Head, but I did. So that bait was very silly. I give them very low health, but I do not take them out. And now I'm hoping that I can just take them out with the Incineroar probably, right? I do come in with the Dragalge. I am able to take him out. And then they come in with Wormadam. And folks, we've seen it before. This game is all but over because of the fact that I have two shields. The Incineroar in the back would be able to easily take out the Wormadam. The Wormadam has non-stab confusions. Those non-stab confusions are double resisted. It's not able to threaten the Incineroar at all. So once again, we have a Azumarill in the lead. And we've seen a lot of Azumarils, and Azumarill doesn't necessarily have a great matchup versus this team, because oftentimes when someone is using an Azumarill in the front, they are very weak to fire types in the back. Often they even have bug steel types in the back, as we've seen before. So we are far from hopeless here. We are just going to keep on throwing these Fire Fangs, keep on throwing these Iron Heads. They throw the Ice Beam. That's not going to be enough to take me out. But unfortunately, I do have to go for this Power Punch. I would not get to the Iron Head. Not quite. The Power Punch, they do count my moves. They know that's just a Power Punch, unfortunately. Or they are not threatened by the Iron Head. Either way, I do have to come in with my Dragalge here. And so we've seen it before, and we'll see it again. It's really good how low health the Mawile gets the Azumarill. Just because now this Dragalge should be able to take care of the Azumarill, or at least almost take care of it. Last time I threw the Aqua Tail, this time I thought, oh, I'm so smart. I'm going to throw the Outrage and take him out. I don't take him out. They survive with 1 hit point. This is disastrous. I make a very questionable play here, and I no-shield the Ice Beam because I knew this would just be an Ice Beam. And then they have an Escavalier. So no-shielding the Ice Beam was definitely not the play. I should have shielded it because the Escavalier was able to get me very low just with counter damage. But I'm very hopeful here. I'm thinking that this is yet another Steel Bug team, and sure enough it is. if you see an Azumarill in the front, it's a 50-50 chance that it's double Steel Bug in the back. So that's just a showcase of my run using this team. It took me 5 sets. I went from the mid 2600s up to the high 2800s. So over a 200-point climb in 5 sets using this team, and it's a really fun team to use. I love these super high fast move pressure teams. I love getting some use out of my Mawile. Absolutely love Mawile. So guys, if you have these Pokemon, if you use this team, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.